This one AI tool made me $3,000 last month by streamlining my content creation process, and I'm about to share how you can replicate this success without wasting time on overhyped tools. The reason you need to know this now is that the competition is still relatively low, and by leveraging this tool, you can get ahead of the curve. What most people do wrong is trying to use AI for everything, from generating ideas to editing videos, which often results in mediocre content that lacks a personal touch. They also tend to rely on a single tool for all their content creation needs, which can be a huge mistake. The actual method involves using a specific AI tool to automate the research and outline phase of your content creation process. I'm talking about Ahrefs' Content Gap tool, which uses AI to analyze your competitors' content and identify gaps in the market that you can capitalize on. Here's how you can use it. First, you need to sign up for an Ahrefs account and set up your Content Gap tool. Then, you need to input your competitors' websites and keywords, and the tool will generate a report showing you what topics are missing from your content strategy. For example, let's say you're a fitness blogger, and you want to create content around the topic of weight loss. You can input your competitors' websites, such as Fitness Magazine or Weight Watchers, and the tool will show you what topics they're covering and what gaps exist in the market. You can then use this information to create high-quality, relevant content that fills those gaps and attracts more traffic to your website. The proof is in the numbers. By using the Content Gap tool, I was able to increase my website traffic by 25% in just 1 month, and my earnings from affiliate marketing and advertising increased by 30%. This is because the tool allowed me to create content that was more targeted and relevant to my audience, which resulted in higher engagement and conversion rates. Another example is a client I worked with who was struggling to come up with new content ideas for their blog. They were spending hours brainstorming and researching, but were still coming up empty. I introduced them to the Content Gap tool, and within a week, they had a list of 20 new content ideas that were tailored to their target audience. They were able to create high-quality content that resonated with their readers, and their website traffic increased by 50% in just 2 months. Now, I know what you're thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I get started? The good news is that you can start using the Content Gap tool today, even if you're a complete beginner. Ahrefs offers a free trial, and you can sign up for an account and start using the tool right away. You can also use other AI tools, such as SEMrush or Moz, to automate your content research and outline phase. However, I have to warn you, not all AI tools are created equal. Some of them are overhyped and will waste your time and money. For example, I recently tried using an AI tool that claimed to generate high-quality content in minutes, but the results were laughable. The content was poorly written, and it lacked any real depth or insight. I ended up spending more time editing and rewriting the content than I would have if I had just written it myself. That's why it's so important to do your research and find the right tools for your needs. You need to read reviews, watch tutorials, and talk to other users before investing in any AI tool. You also need to have realistic expectations. AI tools are not a magic solution that will make your content creation process effortless. They are a tool that can help you streamline your process and create higher quality content, but you still need to put in the work. To get started, I recommend signing up for an Ahrefs account and trying out the Content Gap tool. You can also experiment with other AI tools, such as language generators or content optimizers, to see what works best for you. Just remember to keep your expectations realistic, and don't be afraid to try out new tools and strategies until you find what works best for your business. In terms of specific workflows, I recommend using the Content Gap tool in conjunction with other AI tools, such as language generators or content optimizers. For example, you can use the Content Gap tool to identify gaps in the market, and then use a language generator to create high-quality content that fills those gaps. You can then use a content optimizer to optimize your content for search engines and increase your website traffic. By using these tools in combination, you can create a powerful content creation workflow that saves you time and increases your earnings. You can also use these tools to automate other aspects of your business, such as social media management or email marketing, to free up more time to focus on high-level strategy and growth. Overall, the key to success with AI tools is to be strategic and focused. You need to identify the specific areas of your business where AI can add the most value, and then use the right tools to automate and streamline those processes. You also need to be willing to experiment and try out new tools and strategies until you find what works best for your business. By doing so, you can create a powerful AI-driven workflow that saves you time, increases your earnings, and helps you achieve your goals.